word for word, the fortune that I got from my fortune cookie.
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Welcome back in to week 2 of Mike and the Feather's Fade or Fly podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm the Feather.
And we are about to look at, how many picks do you have this week for us?
We got 7 outstanding picks again this week,
7 more Take It to the Bank picks. First, I want to give a shout out to all our new subscribers and the people we keep meeting at the Westgate. Super excited you guys are tuning into our show and checking out what the Feather has for us. I want to give a special shout out to Noah, my nephew over at Columbia University. Now is the time. You wanted an investment. You wanted a retirement plan. This is the show to get you on the right track. So make sure all your friends watch and tune in each week and start learning the game, my friend. I wanted to share one thing really quick. We had a little production meeting yesterday, and unfortunately, I could not find the one that you had, so blame me for that. You had a really cool fortune that was something like, perseverance and patience will pay off in the future for you.
Right, yep.
And I want you to read to the audience the word for word, the fortune that I got from my fortune cookie.
The fortune from Crazy Buffet.
Shout out to Crazy Buffet. We look for sponsorships.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, the fortune he got was learn to play golf.
Like, that's not even a fortune. That's a statement. That's like water is wet. That would be this equivalent of a fortune for me.
Yeah, I feel like you just got cheated.
I think so too. I mean, the
cheated.
meal was good, but
learn to play golf.
We should have. We'll go back.
Is that like a metaphor?
Learn to play golf.
Learn to play golf.
No, I'm sure if we go there, there's going to be like this restaurant sponsored by Summerlin Hills Golf Course or something like that. So, all right, guys, enough banter. I'm going to give a little rundown here of each game, and the Feather is going to give us his expert analysis. 5-3 last week.
Last week was a lot of fun. Great games. We had a blast watching all the games. NFL's back, guys. This is exciting stuff. I mean, week 1 is in the books. It ended on a bang. I mean, unfortunately for Aaron Rodgers, more of a snap.
Snap and pop more than a bang.
Yeah. But otherwise, great ending to a great week. And week 2, it's going to be better and better. I mean, we got, this is all the way from now till February.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Giants can only go up from here.
The Giants literally they're as rock bottom as you can possibly be. So this week, we'll see what's going to happen to the Giants and Mike's team.
All right,
how are you feeling about your team?
Well, look, like I said earlier, I feel like the Giants fell off a cliff into the ocean, got sucked into a vortex, got dragged underground into the abyss. I don't think you can go further than that unless, of course, now the abyss opens up and swallows them to the center of the earth, which, as a Giants fan for almost 30 years, I can't say I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
Yeah. I guess week 2 it's going to be better for you, buddy.
Enough of my misery. Let's get into your picks.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right, so we're going to look at 7 games. We're going to start with the morning games, take you through the evening. The first one the Feather is going to enlighten us on, speaking of Feathers, is the 1 p.m. Eastern Time matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals are at home, -3.
Yep, Bengals are at home. It was disastrous last week. I mean, the Bengals looked terrible. Joe Burrow, 87 yards. They were just about as rock bottom as the Giants. So as far as that goes, I'm on Team Burrow this week, okay? Joe Burrow is going to come back hard. He's paid $275 million for a reason. I love him this week at home. They're going to bounce back against a Baltimore defense that is not the Baltimore defense of old. They have not been outstanding over the last couple of years. They're solid, but I don't think their offense has it this week. Their running game with the loss of J.K. Dobbins is kind of a critical hit. Lamar Jackson, coming off of an injury, he seemed a little bit hesitant last week. I mean, he just wasn't doing much. Yeah. So he didn't run much. He just wasn't his normal self, and he seems to not be able to pass very well, to be honest. I mean, just to be critical, he's not passing the ball great. Frankly, the receiving core of Baltimore is suspect. You got a Odell Beckham Jr. that he's still kind of getting healthy himself, and he's not going to be, I don't think, a very strong part of the offense yet. I don't feel like they have what it takes to match up with the Bengals' firepower. Now, granted, last week the firepower was not great. Obviously, it was downright terrible and ineffective. Different game right now, and I think good things are going to come.
But now, obviously, this is probably clear skies for the game. I mean, how much last week of Joe Burrow was the weather, rust, things like that? And is this I know the defense isn't as good, but is this a team where you think he can just shake it all off and suddenly we're going to see Joe Burrow from the end of last season?
Yeah, 100%. I think Joe Burrow, he missed a lot of practice and a lot of everything because he had that hamstring issue. So he didn't get to work with the offense as much. And, I think it was just, the weather was a big part of it. And hats off to Cleveland defense. They got to him, and it was a tough sledding for him. But in the end, I think this week is going to be a whole different game. Burrow to Chase is going to be really off the charts. I think T. Higgins, who had 0 catches, 0 yards, he's going to get his share of catches this week, and there are going to be some big plays. And I'm loving the Bengals. And bottom line, Bengals -3. We're going to go 3 units this week. 3 units, Cincinnati Bengals this week. I love it. Bengals -3 all day long. They're going to win double digits, take it to the bank, double digits Bengals, -3, 3 units. Let's get it done. Boom.
Let's move on to the next one, which I'm sure you're going to love to talk about. As always, another 1 p.m. game. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Atlanta Falcons. The Packers are -1, so another -1 game, but this time in the Packers' favor, which I almost feel like that's a little bit unfair to the Packers, given their performance.
The Packers are -1 favorites. I love the Packers. I don't ever hide that, but they are outstanding. This team has so much potential. Sky is the limit this year. We're waiting to hear on Aaron Jones. He's questionable due to that hamstring when he got that long touchdown run against the Bears last week. Christian Watson, he's a question mark as well still. I'm hoping that at least one of them will be able to play, but even without next man up, I like A.J. Dillon to back up Aaron Jones. And honestly, I like Jaden Reed to take the place of Christian Watson in 2 wide receiver sets with Romeo Doubs, who had 2 touchdowns last week and seemed to be on the same page last week with Jordan Love. And Jordan Love, once again, looked calm, cool, collective. I like this team. On the other side of the ball, I like Atlanta from a standpoint their running game. Bijan Robinson has a lot of talent, and I think he's going to be a challenge for the Green Bay defensive front. But at the same time, Desmond Ridder, I think they're just kind of hiding him. I mean, he is the guy. I don't think he has it yet. Will he as a professional quarterback in the NFL? I don't know. But right now, I don't think they have much of a passing game. I think that, honestly, that Drake London and Kyle Pitts are kind of dying on the vine right now because these guys are super talents, and they just don't have a quarterback to get them the ball. And the volume that Atlanta's putting out from a passing standpoint is very low because I think they're kind of trying to compensate for the lack of passing that this team has due to the quarterback deficit. I'll say that. Any comments on the Packer-Falcons game?
Yeah, definitely. Like last week against the Bears team, it didn't look great. That might have boosted how Jordan Love and the Packers looked, but I do think they looked relatively strong and talented. So against a weak Falcons team like this, I think they have a good shot at being 2-0, and I think that's going to lend a lot of weight to your over 7.5 wins for the season bet.
The defense of Green Bay is going to come up big in this game. Jair Alexander is going to shut down Drake London and/or Kyle Pitts. Not sure how they're going to put them, but that defense is going to be huge in shutting down the passing game. I believe that Bijan Robinson in that running game is going to get their yards and maybe even get some points. But in the end, Green Bay is going to absolutely dominate this game. This 1-point line is an insult to Green Bay. After how they played, I understand it's in Atlanta, but Green Bay is going to win this game by 10-plus points, You can take that to the bank. So Green Bay, 4 units, -1, take it to the bank, 10-plus point victory, double digits. It's not going to be close. No worries. Rest assured, Green Bay, 4 units. Boom.
All right. Next, the third game we're looking at is another 1 p.m. It is the, still hard to say, Las Vegas Raiders at Buffalo Bills. Bills are favored by a whopping 8.5 points in this one, and I don't know how to feel about that one. No love lost for me with the Raiders, either here or when I lived in L.A., but I always like a good underdog story, so...
But bottom line, Jimmy G actually looked decent. Everyone, every Raider fan out there kind of held their breath in week 1 thinking, is this guy going to go down with an injury? He actually came off pretty solid. He didn't get hit too often. He didn't get sacked. Devonta Adams, he's banged up this week. A little bit of a foot injury / whatever. He's questionable, but I'm sure he'll be good to go. Jacoby Myers, wide receiver, number 2 for the team. He was very surprising. It wasn't Devonta Adams with the big game. It was Jacoby Myers. How about that? But he got his bell rung. He got knocked the heck out. But anyway, he's in concussion protocol. I don't know if he's going to play. He's still not a participant in practice and off the board as of right now. I believe he probably won't play because he was knocked into another country on Sunday. So I don't think he's going to be good to go. The NFL protocol now is pretty strict on concussions, especially after Tua, nearly died in the field, it felt like, because, he took that second concussion in such a short period of time. Josh Jacobs, running back, he's going to be key because I don't think they're going to be able to pass very much against the likes of that Buffalo Bills defensive backfield, anchored by Micah Hyde. Micah Hyde's a beast, former Packer, shout out.
You just can't let it go. But you didn't give Devontae Adams a shout out. So have you moved on from that one?
I'm a little bitter at Devontae Adams. I understand for family reasons why he moved, but in the end, I wish he wouldn't have, and I think he's wishing he wouldn't have. Sorry, Raider Nation, but it's the truth.
That'd be a hell of a target for Jordan Love to have too.
Man,
that's the kind of receiver that just makes a quarterback look good, like a Randy Moss, where you can just throw the ball in a general vicinity, and he's going to go up and find it for you.
Let's get a trade talk. Come on, let's go. Packers, Raiders, let's get it done. Josh Allen, he's going to be the storyline here. Josh Allen was, frankly, an embarrassment last week. I mean, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble lost.
I think he caught a little bit whatever was infecting the Giants in their game the previous night. I think that was kind of lingering on the field, and Josh Allen got a big whiff of it and was stinking it up.
It's possible because Josh Allen was not good, and that guy is a beast. He's dynamic. He can do anything. Sky's the limit, and he just – I don't know if he tried too hard or just he puts it all on his shoulder, and maybe he needs to get a little bit more help. But this week's going to be different. Josh Allen at home, Bills Nation, you're going to be happy. You're going to be happy in this one. The Bills are going to win this one. It's going to be a double-digit 14 to 21 point victory for the Buffalo Bills. Take it to the bank. The Bills minus 8.5, 4 units. They're going to get it done. I don't see any other way. I think Las Vegas made a mistake putting this line at 8.5. It was 9.5. I think this should have opened at 10. I understand that people are hesitant because of the fact the Bills struggled last week. But the Raiders, God bless their heart, they just don't have it this year. They're not going to have it this year. Jimmy G probably going to be done by week 6, but we'll talk about that later. But as of right now, I think that the tight ends for Buffalo are going to pick apart that weak defensive backfield for the Raiders. And in the end, it's going to be no problem. Easy peasy. Bills get it done. 14 to 21 point victory. Boom. Take it to the bank.
I have your opinion on something. I've wondered for years. When is it that Josh Allen is going to take a quarterback run, just 1 yard too far and run into some major physical damage on his body? Because I saw last week in the game, he took one run and instead of going down, he went up in the air, which I'm sure the coach was literally holding his breath and clenching his you-know-what when he saw that happen. I'm shocked that Josh Allen hasn't had an injury related to his running ability. And he's getting older. He's not getting younger.
Right. Yep.
I wish I was his age again, but he's not getting younger in football term.
Josh Allen is a big boy. There's not many players on the other side of the ball that are going to be in the range of where he's going to get tackled that are going to be bigger than him. And so he's going to lay out just as many licks as licks he could potentially take. But you're right. At some point, he's got to be smart and get down sooner than later. Otherwise, he's going to open himself up to long-term injury, and he's got to think big picture for that team.
All right, the last of our morning games, 1 p.m. games Eastern, is the Kansas City Chiefs looking to bounce back at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Kansas City Chiefs are -3.5. I feel like this is going to be maybe a shootout if Trevor Lawrence gets his act together on the game. This might be a high-scoring game. It might not. What's your opinion?
I mean, Travis Kelce, 2 words. Is he going to play? It seems like it's trending towards he will. But we'll find out. I mean, Travis Kelce right now is focusing on other things like dating Taylor Swift. Crazy, right? Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift.
Is that actually true? I didn't know that.
Supposedly they're
So he wants to be immortalized in a song at some point. And
they're seeing each other. Didn't she date John Mayer too?
I don't follow that stuff really. I just know she sings songs about everybody she's ever been in a relationship with. So she
went from a bunch of boy band skinny jean boys to Travis Kelce, Mr. Meaty Jock. It's interesting. It's an interesting switch, but we'll see how that works out. But as far as his health, we'll wait and see. But as far as shootout, if Travis Kelce doesn't play, I just don't see the Chiefs being able to compete with Jacksonville.
So you're saying if Travis Kelce doesn't play, then it's him? He's the problem?
I'm the problem, it's me.
See, that's a Taylor Swift reference right there. You didn't know that.
Oh, my
Hi,
God.
I'm the problem, it's me. Sorry, there's no bad blood between us now, right?
No.
Okay. Another reference. He doesn't get it.
I don't get it. Sorry. I'm old. The receivers for Kansas City need to step up. Bottom line, they got to step up.
Or catch balls.
Yeah,
Sometimes they step up and just don't catch the ball. Kadarius Toney.
Well, yeah, we got Sky Milk-Carton Moore. Okay, Sky Milk-Carton Moore. You know he's absent, and then we got ourselves can't catch a ball Kadarius Toney. So either one, take your pick. Not good. But we'll see. Maybe this week's gonna be different. You know, maybe Patrick Mahomes won't have to do absolutely everything and get no reciprocation from the rest of the team. But I think that it's going to be more of the same. I think Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, and this offense that really has stepped up over the last couple of years. They remember last year in the playoffs how much it stung when they lost to one Patrick Mahomes. And Travis Etienne, I think, is going to be able to run on them. Guys that need to step up more, Christian Kirk needs to step up more. Zay Jones needs to step up more. But in Jacksonville, +3.5. Take the Jags. Money in the bank. We're going to go 2 units this time. We got 2 units +3.5. Jacksonville Jaguars. Kelce, no Kelce, does not matter. They are going to go 0-2. I know that's hard for people to believe, but in the bottom line, when it's all said and done, Patrick Mahomes is going to be digging out of a hole 0-2 to start the season, and Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be 2-0, soaring up and away. Boom.
Now, if they go 0-2 to start the season, do you think they can shake it off? All right, that's the first 4. Let's move on to an afternoon game. This is after everybody's cashed their morning tickets, taking it to the bank, made a bunch of money. What else can you put those newfound winnings into? I like your choice for the 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time game. The New York Football Giants at the Arizona Cardinals. I know this opened at -5.5. So I'm intrigued. I love that my team can still be the favorite, even though they took the royalest of dumps last Sunday and made my Pee Wee League football team seem like they could have crushed them 30 years ago.
Absolutely. I'm going to state it right from jump. The New York Giants, -4.5, 2 units. They're going to get it done. I'm 100% confident in them. They had a rough go last week. Everyone knows that. But you know what? The Cardinals are a dumpster fire. Literally dumpster fire. Coach Brian Dable is going to have them ready and primed. They are not going to have their egg in the face for 2 weeks in a row. Daniel Jones is actually going to step it up. Saquon Barkley is going to run all over them like crazy. Now, the wide receivers of the Giants, you know, we'll see what they're going to do. But I think Paris Campbell, he's a big wide receiver. I think he could do some stuff. Darius Slay, no, he's not going to be on our fantasy team anytime soon. We're not.
But how about Darius Slayton? Darius Slay is a different team, I believe.
Darius Slayton.
Look at Mike knowing something and correcting
Holy
the feather.
man,
That's one for the season. We're going to keep a running tally of how many times I know something you don't.
Darius Slayton, that tells you how much I think of him that I barely know his name. So, but anyway, we'll see how he does this week. But I like the Giants. The Giants are 5-5 in their last 10 road games, including playoffs, whereas the Arizona Cardinals are a very dismal 1-13 in their last 14 home games. So Josh Dobbs is a quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. He's been with 3 teams the last 5 years of play. He's very little experience. I think he has 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions in his career, 600 yards, a little less. And they just don't have much. I mean, Marquise Brown, he's the wide receiver 1. He was a disappointment last year coming over from Baltimore. And outside of that, pretty much, James Conner's their workhorse back, but he's banged up right out now again, and he barely plays because he's always hurt and off the field. He's not going to be able to do much in this game, and even if he does, it's not going to be enough. The Giants are going to get it done. The line's 4.5. The line dropped a point. I don't know why it dropped a point, but it doesn't matter. New York Giants cover the points, 4.5. They get back on track. They're going to be 1-1. Giants Nation's going to be happy once again.
Absolutely, we will be on the road to 16-1. Like I keep saying.
And Mike will not be as sad as he was last weekend. Shout out to Kidwell on your Giants bet. That didn't work out so well for you.
Pick number 6 for this weekend, 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Washington Commanders at the Denver Broncos. Broncos are favored -3. These were 2 games I didn't really watch in too much detail last week. So what is your take and what is your pick on this one?
Well, we know Washington won a close one against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Broncos lost late to one Las Vegas Raiders. This week is going to be interesting. Sean Payton is a heck of a coach, and he's trying to do something there in Denver, and I think he can. Russell Wilson, he's definitely a challenging player to deal with these days. A lot of people are harsh on him, a lot of harsh criticism. He was efficient week 1. I mean, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This week he's going to get Jerry Jeudy back, it looks like, so he'll have his wide receiver 1 back, go side by side with Cortland Sutton. And then you got yourself Javonte Williams, running back. He was back in week 1. He did okay. They kept him on a snap count, maybe 13, 14 carries. So I think he's going to be, as the weeks go on, he's going to be more and more involved with that offense. Other side of the ball, Sam Howell, quarterback for Washington. We'll see. I mean, it was Arizona, and they squeaked it by. So I don't have Terry McLaurin, their wide receiver 1, and you got Jahan Dotson, wide receiver 2. Both guys were pretty ineffective. The running game was Brian Robinson was mediocre, not great. Kind of an ugly game. It was pretty much a dumpster fire game between 2 teams that are very mediocre and one team that is well below mediocre in Arizona, which is just downright terrible. That franchise is a surefire lock to get the number 1 pick this year. And so this game was an interesting game, but I gave the nod to the Broncos -3. I'm going 2 units in the Broncos. I like Sean Payton. I like that they're at home. And I think that with Jerry Jeudy back, I think Russell Wilson's going to get it done. I think the team is not going to lose their first 2 games at home. I think they're going to do enough to squeak by, cover the spread of 3 for 2 units, and I feel good about it. What say you?
I say I probably will be watching it if it's on one of the big screens at the Westgate, but I don't feel like this is going to have any significance as far as the standings in either division goes. I feel like regardless of how bad the Giants are, Washington's destined to be the basement team in the NFC East. And the Broncos, look, when I watched that game, I felt like from what I watched of Russell Wilson last season that he looks like he's returning to form. But again, there's another person where despite the difference between me and him, he is getting older in football terms. He's getting up there.
Oh, yeah.
he's definitely lost a step. And I mean, but you're right. Sean Payton can probably work miracles, and he's probably not going to put up with any crap and lack
he's
of
not.
discipline from these players now, especially what happened last season. Because in a way, he's still fighting. He's fighting for his reputation, right? They traded a pick for him.
Right.
When you're trading picks for a coach, there's a lot of expectation. That coach is the missing piece for your team. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But if anything, yeah, I agree. I think the Broncos will definitely pull it out against. I almost said the wrong word, against the Commanders. But yeah,
Washington
if
Commanders. Is that going to be the name next year? I don't know. I mean,
how long has it been now? 5 years?
yeah,
Roughly 5 or 6 years. It's been
it's
changed?
been a while. Yeah.
All right. Okay, our evening game is definitely one. I have a very good friend who's going to be watching this as a Dolphins fan. There is definitely no love lost between these two divisional rivals. The 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. Dolphins are favored by 3. The Patriots had a really interesting game against the Eagles last week. That was actually a bet that I went off the page of the Feathers bets, and I took the Eagles, I think it was -5 when I got it, and I was sweating that at the end. When they went up 16-0 in the very beginning, I'm like, oh, sweet, I should have bet a whole lot more. And then I think you got extremely tired of me being frustrated for the last quarter, screaming at the Giant.
You were stressed out that game.
I was stressed out.
It went from 16-0, like all right, to like literally nail biting fear.
But I accepted that as my penance for being a Giants fan, betting on the Eagles against my also hated team, the New England Patriots. So I've never won for or against betting on Tom Brady or any Patriots team, and I put myself in a bind there, but luckily I came out ahead. So roll with the meatball. I was 1-0 on my own personal picks last week. We're not counting the Giants game. That was a fun bet. That was Westgate free money bet.
All right.
Okay, let's get into it. Miami Dolphins at Patriots. Dolphins -3, and the verdict on the Fins and the Pats.
Well, it's going to be a battle of coaching. We got the mad scientist Mike McDaniels versus the GOAT Bill Belichick. I do not like the Patriots as well, and I do not like Bill Belichick, but I know when to give credit due, and that guy is amazing, right? So last week, Tua, he had a hell of a game, dropping bombs, 466 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 215 yards on like 11 catches, couple touchdowns. Miami looked great. Now, granted, it was against a mediocre at best Charger defense. It's a whole different ball game. They're in Foxborough. It's a Sunday night football game. They're going to be going up against a stout defense that gave the Eagles some fits, frankly. So, it's going to be an interesting game. Jalen Waddle on the other side of the ball from Tyreek Hill, he is really good, and they both stretch the field and make things very challenging. Miami's issue is a running game. They don't have much of a running game. Jeff Wilson's on the IR, and Raheem Mostert is pretty much old bones Mozart. I mean, the guy is a broken down car half the time, and I just don't think he's going to hold up the year. Over under the next 4 games, he's going to be injured. I'll take the under. But outside of that, Mac Jones, 300 yards passing last week.
We talked about that in one of our first episodes when we were reviewing the games for week 1 about what Mac Jones was going to show up. And I think that seemed like the Mac Jones the Patriots expected him to be.
Oh,
not the way he was playing towards the end of the season when you weren't sure if the carousel was going to move on to a new quarterback for the Pats. So if he continues that level of play, the Patriots will still be a team other teams are going to have to reckon with and make a good plan for. It's not going to be a rollover, easy victory. That's, again, Bill Belichick has a lot to do with that.
Yep, 100% agree. Mac Jones looked good. Here's what was interesting. That upfront defense of the Eagles did not get to Mac Jones until the fourth quarter. I think it was pretty late, which is kind of crazy. Now, here's a weird dynamic. Almost every offensive lineman on the New England Patriots is questionable right now. The whole offensive line is questionable.
Every single one, like all
like
starters.
every single starting offensive lineman
goodness.
is questionable. Now, this could be like Bill Belichick playing a game because he's the wizard at that sort of stuff, playing possum. But that's something to watch. But outside of that, I think Ramondre Stevenson is going to be able to run on this Dolphins defense. I think that they're going to get it done in the air as well. I do believe that the defense is going to shut down Tyreek Hill. I think Bill Belichick's in his science lab right now, and he's working out a way to take him away. He's not going to do it completely, but Tyreek Hill, I think, is going to have like a 8-catch, 85 yards and a touchdown type game, which is a victory for the Patriots. And this game is going to be interesting. Foxborough, Bill Belichick is not losing the first 2 games in Foxborough this season. I don't care what anyone says. That may not be a favorite to a lot of people to say, but bottom line, the Patriots are going to win this game outright. Yes, take it to the bank. The Patriots are winning this game outright. +3, take the points. Take the points, 2 units, take the +3. But I think personally they're going to win it outright without a doubt. They're going to walk away, and the Miami Dolphins, I'm sorry, shout out to our friend Anthony. You're not happy about this. Nothing personal, but the Finns are not going to win this one. They're going to be 1-1, tied with the New England Patriots at 1-1 after this week, and that's what's going to happen.
Do you think they learned after last season how to protect the guy? And do you think he's learned maybe when to not take a hit if he has to go down? I think that's got to stick with you. I don't know how a quarterback could take that much abuse and damage and just not have it be like PTSD or something that's going to be in the back of his mind for the rest of his career.
He didn't show any signs of happy feet in week 1. I mean, he seemed pretty poised and solid. I give him all the credit in the world because me personally, if I would have got that second hit where basically looked like I was dead on the field, I probably would have retired from football. I love the game of football.
He's definitely a competitor.
He's a competitor, but that's a whole new level because you're talking about life and death. This isn't about wanting to win. It's like survival, right? So, no one would have been shocked if he would have retired forever. So I give him credit for getting back out there. But, I don't know. It's hard to say. Well, time will tell. But the thing is, once you start getting concussions over and over again, it becomes easier and easier to get that concussion, and each one more and more dangerous. I don't think he's going to stay healthy the entire season, but I hope for the sake of the Dolphins and Dolphins fans and for his well-being that he finds a way to stay healthy because that's important. And we'll see. But as far as all that goes, that wraps up all the picks. Guys, it's going to be a great week. I am super pumped.
Make sure if you're out at the Westgate this weekend, you come on and say hi. We're usually in the middle row. Jason starts his day off at 6 a.m. while I'm still sleeping, and I join him shortly after. Feel free to say hi. If you're new to the channel, thanks for finding us. Make sure you click the subscribe button down below. We have at least 2 videos a week. I've been teaching Jason how to make short videos, so we'll be getting some more updates from him in the field, so to speak, as the weeks go on. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Anything else, Feather, to throw in there?
No, just looking forward to a great weekend. Come on down and visit us, like I said, at the Westgate. But otherwise, you know what? It's going to be a great week of betting. We're going to go 7-0 and crush it. Take it to the bank. Boom.
Remember, one of the most important things you can do in life is learn to play golf.